Hello everyone, I'm Nevares and this is a World War. If you have never seen this game, it's a mining roguelite with tower defense strapped into it. In here you mine treasures and use them to upgrade your mining gear and weapons just so you can mine even more treasures and destroy your enemies even faster. I recently defeated the main boss of the game and wanted to see how is the game after that, so with that let's hop in. Before we start, I have around 70% of upgrades done at the time of recording, just so you know. Along with that I noticed there is no boss timer where it should be, which tells me there is probably no boss anymore. At the beginning you can see spider. He usually spawns around the first hole in the wall, and upon mining it, a laser upgrade shoots out. I think it has a reach of around 20 blocks, and along with it is a flying of the torpedo rocket, destroying even more area around it. Also, if you glance on the left, you can see that there are 3 bars. Green one is HP, next is aggro, if it reaches max a wave starts, and blue is shield, it regens every wave as long as previous one is clear. After I leave, you can see the laser following me from ship. It's a booster making my movement and mining faster. The escape is always filled with blue and grey ore, and so are my first upgrades. Because of a high booster level, mining stone is like cutting through butter. When you mine enough of your ore, you can vacuum it up, and there's usually a limit, but it's not bad that for me. My first upgrades go toward drill power and rifle reload speed. The escape also had a nice surprise for me as it got me a shotgun and my secret upgrade, which is the circle. If you bring it to the ship, you get an upgrade, and the best one for me would be a docking station, which works like the booster, but you can take it with you anywhere in the caves. And the one I got is a resource radar, which is not bad. It shows you where are the ores. Second cave is a grass cave. It's a tier higher, allowing me to access next upgrades with green stones. Anyway, I left some of the empty stone out there because in the future I can get an upgrade that lets me get ores from empty blocks like this. In the next cave I get free upgrade via this chip. You can find them hidden in these rooms, and they are great because they allow you to progress in the skill tree without having to buy out the upgrades, and some of them aren't even seen on the tree, so they are pretty much just secret upgrades. Either way, after a few more of this, one of the main contents of the game starts, going to the next stage, or you can also call it a forced wave. When you go past clouds, either up or down, you will find new ores and new enemies, and when you first cross it, enemies will arrive. It's nice to do it when you are already in a wave because it won't end until all enemies are dead, and it will reset the aggro block. In the next stage you can see same old caves, also new ore, which I'll call cyber ore because it looks kind of like cybernetic, but it doesn't really give me much because there aren't many upgrades with it that I can do right now, but I can skip the upgrades, so that's alright to have. With that said, the next caves consisted of some corpse rooms, old caves, and also new lore rooms which have this kind of NPCs staying around, but I don't care about talking to them because I already know the lore. The main lore is that you are a miner climbing a wall, and the main character that we play as believes his grandfather's tale that there is an edge to the wall somewhere and tries to find it. In the second layer I also found another circle upgrade and a weapon, which is a bomb thrower. The upgrade I got in the cave is overdrive, which gives you speed up when you use it, but it has a very long cooldown. Anyway, while going off to the next stage, I upgraded my drill to now fire 2 drills at once and got some fresh new upgrades for my weapons. I was thinking about going up to the next stage, but it's probably still too early for me because the next stage is very dangerous. So I went down because no matter if you go up or down, the first stage, either up or down, is going to be the same thing. So the stage below down isn't going to be the second stage, it's going to be the first stage, but below. This stage actually has games that I care about, and the main reason is because there are actually upgrades I can do with this black ore, so it was fun enough and I got enough for it to get for all the upgrades that I needed. It also had the grenade launcher I was talking about earlier. I mined out all the caves that were in here and proceed straight to the next stage that I previously said is dangerous. Right now where I had the grenade launcher, dealing with large waves or of dangerous enemies wasn't that bad because it does AoE damage and can hurt multiple enemies at once. In fact, I can tell you this funny story that when I first crossed this wall, I pretty much just died in like 5 seconds because I didn't know the enemies were that strong. Anyway, before I went into any curse, I upgraded the radar and headed into it. The next stage still had the same mid cave with the black ore, but it's alright since I needed a little bit more of it. And the next cave was different, but not really my favorite, but what can I do? I need the upgrade. Sadly, I couldn't progress into the mining tree as I needed an ore from upwards section of the game. And this one isn't very different from the previous caves. The frost caves are built like puzzles, they shine more like going back and forth caves than any other caves in the entire game. And it also had a new weapon, which is railgun, but I don't really use it. It's very slow, it's honestly weaker than Grand Launcher. The only thing it has is the high range. I can tell you easily that mining out all the frost caves in here got me minus 30 minutes of my life taken away from me, but after I was done with those, I had so much ore I wouldn't need anymore in my entire life. And I finally also found docking station. When I was done with that, I went for the next layer and it had the matrix caves. I decided to call them that because they had this kind of line of codes stone everywhere. While finding of a wave, I also found another ore, but I had no use for it anytime soon. I came back and collected all the matrix ore after the wave finished, and while the frost caves had puzzle-like look, the matrix caves had more of a room layout to it, so I still had to go like back and forth. But after I was done with them, I also found a drone upgrade, which is same thing as your machine gun, but they have their own stats. In a way, it's now back to the lower stage, number 2. Through the previous cyber and blood caves, I found the ore I found no use for earlier. And here is when the video cuts, because my recorder went past the time limit and I honestly don't know how much time skipped, but I think it's like 15 minutes around before I turned the recorder on again. Anyway, back to magma ore mining. And here is a treat for you all. This is what the lower stage looks like when you reach the limit. It's water. And I got burned. So here it is. Wall world in all its glory, all while I climb the wall. Except there is no boss. So it's kinda lame and boring because there is no really any like big like reason to go for it. It kinda feels like a browser game because of it for me. Anyway, thanks for watching along with witnessing my heroic death while defending from the Cyrex. Ben's grandfather would be proud for sure.